in improving your communicative skill. And language is all about sharing of or expressing your feelings, your ideas, your opinions. So if you have the right words to express it in the correct way, it's done, right? So that's what is the challenge in a language, along with the accent, having the right vocabulary. So if you have a good set of vocabulary in your personal dictionary, it's going to help you very much, tremendously, in the long way, in the long run of improving your language. So whenever you come across new words, whether it is in the accent training classes or your literature classes, just jot them down somewhere. It's not to be like just written down in the notes for the purpose of writing the examination. It should be written somewhere so that you can refer it in between. Try to use them in your writing skill as well as your speaking, as long as till it becomes a part of your personal dictionary. I hope you understood what I meant by personal dictionary. Each one of you has got a set of words which you're comfortable using them. You're very confident where to use it, how to use it. Try to add more and more words to your personal dictionary so that you will have more confidence in speaking as well as writing too. Okay. So you remember what we did in the last class?
Test.
Yes. Apart from that, I guess I showed you the video of Queen's English. Yes, Queen's English. So I think now there is no one in this class who don't know what is received pronunciation. Do you have any doubt regarding received pronunciation? No, because I had explained it to you a few classes before that, though we have like a variety of accents in British, there are different British accents. You cannot go for everything. You have to just follow one particular accent so that we will gain confidence in that. And once you are comfortable with that particular accent, later on, you can move on to the accent of your choice. But as a standard British English, we follow received pronunciation. And there are a few reasons why we follow received pronunciation, because it is the most purest form of English. And it is the standard form of British accent, also known as Queen's English or Oxford English. And in the video, you saw that this is the accent mostly used for the educational purposes, for the students who wants to learn British English. And in the video, you saw there are two types of received pronunciation. Any accents gets improvised with the passage of time, because nothing is constant. The vocabulary, the grammar, new things, it gets updated day by day. So now there are two types of received pronunciation. One is called the conservative RP, and the modern RP is called contemporary RP. Okay, so Queen's English is completely conservative RP or upper RP. And that is what we are following. And what is the fact? The fact is now it's almost like rarely spoken in Britain, because they go for all the posh accents. Like Cockney accent is supposed to be the most stylish accent in Britain, Cockney. So like that, that gets improvised day by day. And there are only the people of the royal family, they follow this type of RP. And I would prefer conducting our classes in the RP. We'll just focus on RP because it is the purest form of pronunciation. Once you are comfortable with RP, then you can, in future, you can learn any other accent of UK. Okay. So shall we watch the next part? Just 2-3 more minutes of the video is remaining. And in the first part, you got 3 points. Do you remember what are the 3 things that you understood from the video?
Pronunciation of O.
Pronunciation of?
O.
O, exactly. So how is the letter O pronounced in RP? It's like the front part of the mouth is adjusted in such a way that you pronounce it. You just open the mouth like O, right? It's O. It's O. So any words with the letter O should be pronounced accordingly, like No, K-N-O-W as well as N-O. It's no, so, go, oh no, I know that, I don't know. Right, this is the way that letter O should be pronounced. And then it was about the ending Y, right? Do you remember what was said in the video?
City.
Yes, city. So the RP speakers, like instead of that Y, like modern RP, of course, they pronounce it as city, but the upper RP, they bring that A sound here, okay? And they pronounce it as city, university, really, happy, very. Okay, so that sound comes there. You need not implement it in your own language, but it is just for your information. Then, yes, Sriram.
No offense. The word no offense should be used before the word or after.
Which one?
No offense.
No offense.
Should we use it before we start to speak or after we speak?
After we speak, I did not.
I'm like say after we say a sentence or before we say a sentence, start to say a sentence.
No offense. But why that particular word? I did not understand the situation. I guess it should be done after a sentence, right? No offense. I actually did not get it. Did anyone else understand what he meant? No. Maybe I couldn't decipher it. Actually, I did not understand. Sriram, could you contact me personally so that I'm curious to know what is it exactly? Certain things when you ask, I won't have a correct answer. Okay.
Ma'am, I saw in some of the stories it is written.
Okay, okay. Let me check on that. So please don't hesitate in asking me your doubts. I won't have answer for each and everything, but at least I can get into it. I can search for it, and that will be an information for me too. So here, more than a training or like teaching, a sharing should take place. And like all over result, so overall result should be the improvement in the language. Okay. And then the third point in the video was about the articulation of the letter T. In Queen's English, you might be remembering the native speaker was telling each and every T is articulated very clearly. What do you mean by the word articulate? Articulate means pronounce. Okay, pronounce the T, because many other, has anyone heard about the glottal T in British? Glottal T? Has anyone heard? That is the latest version of British accent. Those who are really looking into the videos and trying to improve the language, the accent on their own, they might have come across something called glottal T, which is supposed to be very, very difficult, because glottal T is something in that T, they just stop that sound there, like instead of water, they pronounce the word as
yes, ma'am.
yes. That is called glottal T. And I think it is in the Cockney accent. It's very difficult, actually. So even the native speakers say that it's very difficult for the students to get into the habit of using that glottal T, because actually that sound gets stuck inside the throat. So it's a so let you just stop it and then pronounce the word. It's called glottal. Anyway, so here in RP, each and every T is articulated with a plosive, whether it is at the end of a sentence or in the beginning of a sentence or in the middle of a word. It is articulated very clearly. That is yet another speciality of RP. Okay, now let's watch. Okay. So certain aspects of Queen's English was a comparative study. A comparison was made with the other accents, and you understood how does it differ. And in the end part of the video, the native speaker also said that this particular accent is hard. This was the accent which was completely used in the BBC. But recently, the BBC also has changed from the upper RP to the modern RP. Of course, they are using the RP, received pronunciation, but they have modified their accent from the conservative to the contemporary RP. So this is just for doing a comparative study. to just understand what is the two types of received pronunciation. So you saw how the word power, like power is how it is pronounced now, but in olden conservative, it was pronounced as par, tar, r. That triphthongs, three vowel sounds coming together. And also again, he said about the articulation of T, brought to the, right? When it is connected, brought to the, we say just at a go. So that's a small, there is not much difference, but a little bit of difference you can see in the contemporary RP when it is compared to the Queen's English. Okay, anyway, let's please understand that we are following received pronunciation, a bit of Queen's English, plus, of course, the modern RP. This is contemporary RP. Yes, do you have any doubts regarding this now? Anyone? Please feel free to ask your doubts. Don't hesitate. Is there anything? Okay. And how was the vocabulary test? Did you find it helpful? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And believe me, if you really got involved in doing that test and you remember those words, definitely it will be helpful in the future. It will definitely come into use. And we are not going to stop it. We'll continue with it. Now, right now, we have 25 words. Please go through those words occasionally. Don't forget it. Okay. And remember about the stress on the syllables, the pronunciation, the complete pronunciation of the word, as well as the meaning of the word, how it is used in a sentence. Now, tell me, do you know what are contractions? What do you mean by contractions? Contractions, or just give me an example of
Contraction of
contractions.
lungs.
Sriram?
Contraction of lungs.
No, it's, of course, there is a scientific word called contraction, expansion and contraction, right? Of course, expansion and contraction. What do you mean by contraction in language?
Small. Contracting was.
Yes,
Sound.
give me an example. We use a lot of contractions in our daily life. Tanmay, any clue?
No, ma'am.
Ishal? Abhinav,
Orange.
Vijay? Yes, Sriram?
Aren't.
Exactly, aren't. Like didn't, aren't, won't, hasn't, haven't, I'll, there. All these are contractions. So what is happening in the contractions? Doesn't, yes.
The
Two
word
words.
becomes short.
Yes, the words are linked together in such a way that a few letters are taken away. And instead of that, an apostrophe comes, right? This is what is called contraction. And why do we use contractions? Why are contractions used?
To improve pronunciation.
Okay, yes. So contractions are used actually to shorten the sentence, to make it sound more like a native speaker. Which part of the grammar use the contractions? Do you remember? In which particular topic of grammar we use
Conversation.
Conversation.
Of course, no, I'm talking about the grammar. Of course, we use contractions in conversations. I'll give you a clue. It's the topic starts with Q, something related to question.
Question tags.
Exactly, question tags. Question tags we always use, like aren't you, don't they, haven't you, isn't it? Right. So these are examples for contractions. Contractions are used to just shorten the words. And regarding the writing part, it's normally used in informal contexts. So in legal, like formal documents, in formal things, we are not supposed to use the contractions as far as possible. That's the rule. Okay. Now today we are going to, and why I'm telling you about the contractions, because many a times we come across contractions. And some students have got the tendency to split the words and read. So that should not be done. The contractions should be read as they are, because there is some purpose behind the usage. So you have to pronounce the contractions as they are. Now we're going to have a look at a few contractions. Yes. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you to read these sentences. Okay, long form and short form are given in the 2 columns. Let's ignore, you know what's the combination. If you have got any doubt, you can just have a look. But what you're going to do is you're going to read the sentences one by one. Look at what is written inside the box. Don't use contractions in formal documents, and check how the word is pronounced. Okay, don't pronounce it. If even I used to pronounce it as contractions, but remember it is contractions. The stress is on the penultimate syllable, as we have learned the rule. And what happens to the first syllable? Contractions. What happens to the first syllable? You remember? Contrast in pronunciation. Don't you think that it has been reduced to the schwa?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what happens there. So you have to pronounce the word as contractions. Contractions. That is a correct pronunciation of this word. So don't use contractions in formal documents. So normally it is used in informal contexts as well as the conversations. Okay. Now, when I make you read it, please make sure that you're reading the contractions correctly, and all these sentences are very short sentences. Just try to recall all the tips and the rules, the word stress, the sentence stress, all that you have learned so far, and try to apply them in the sentence that you read. Okay, so who is going to start? Amrita, read the first sentence.
I'm
Remember, just remember about the plosives, about the words starting with W and the letter R, the doubling of the consonants, the, and everything, whatever we have learned till now. Yes, Amrita, please read it again.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay, good. Lakshmi,
Yes, ma'am.
second sentence.
You're very lovely.
Okay, you're very, very lovely.
Lovely.
Okay, you need not bring that A sound as Queen's English. It will be difficult for us, right? You're very lovely. Like instead of E sound, bringing that A sound there, it might be difficult, but if you want to do it, of course, no problem. Then Gauri Shankari. Gauri Shankari, are you there? Yes, please read the third sentence. Can't hear you. Not audible. Please check your audio. Sriram, third sentence.
Teacher.
Read it once again. I couldn't hear.
He's a teacher.
Exactly. He is a teacher. So remember, when the letter R comes at the end of a word, it goes silent. And you have to start that with a plosive t. So he's a teacher. He's a teacher. And as this word has 2 syllables, the stress is on the first syllable. It's a noun. Okay. Then next, Parvati Menon.
Yes, ma'am. She's a dentist.
She's a dentist. She's a dentist. Okay. So when a letter like A comes there, you have to reduce it to the schwa. That's what we saw in the video, right? So we need not read it as she's a dentist. She's a dentist. And we are just stressing on the word dentist. The stress syllable, stress is on the first part, dentist. Tanmay, the fourth one.
It's not what you think.
Yes, it's not what you think. Ayan,
That's
next.
strange.
Yes. Carlin,
There's a dog in our garden.
very good. That's a dog in our garden. Remember about the sound of the letter D and then garden. Garden, as a consonant sound comes after the letter R goes silent. So you have to pronounce the word as garden, garden. And Ishal,
What's the smell?
yes. Then Prajita,
Who's there?
who's there? Good. Then Johann,
We're so happy with our new baby.
Very good. Gauri Parvati?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
They're 10 and 12 years old.
Yes, 10 and 12. We bring in that plosive and then years old. Yes. Malavika? I've won. Yes. Instead of saying I have won, it's I won. And at Rose?
We have changed.
You have changed. See how it becomes shorter. Like you have changed becomes you've changed. It's hardly audible, right? You've changed. Isa?
He's left the building.
Yes. Good. Amna?
She's got 2 cars.
Very good. Shane?
It's
Next
gone
sentence.
really well today.
Very good. It's really well. It's gone. Yes.
How can we understand if it is written he's and he's? One is he is and one is he has. How can you differentiate it?
You can differentiate it, of course, looking at the sentence. The sentence should make some sentence. The sentence must make some sense, right? So if it is he is left the building, that sentence doesn't have any sense. So of course it is. So even either for he is or he has, we use the same contraction. We have to decipher what will be. Okay, from the meaning of the sentence. Isa?
Yes, ma'am.
Next sentence.
You called me.
Okay, sorry. Amna, did I call you?
Yes, ma'am.
Anthony Babu.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Actually,
After it's gone really well today. After that sentence. Anthony Babu, did you hear that?
yes, ma'am.
Please read that sentence.
Did you know you heard him?
No, no, no. Before that. Just go up a bit.
Come with him. We
Again. Before that, the sentence before that. Who's?
really well today.
After that?
She's gone to car. She's got to.
After that, the sentence after it's gone really well today. After that, which is the next one? The question.
Who's gone with him?
Exactly, who's gone with him? Yes. Baja?
We have folded all the sheets.
Read it with the proper contraction. It's not we have. It's a contraction. How do you read it? We've folded. See,
We folded all the sheets.
yes, we folded all the sheets. It will be hardly audible. So that have sound should not come. Then there is no point using the contraction. Right. Abhinand, next sentence. Abhinand, are you there? Can you hear me, Abhinand? Parthiv, Hessa.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, next sentence. After folded all the sheets.
They have gone away for the weekends.
Once again, with the proper contraction.
They have gone away for the weekends.
Yes, they've gone away for the weekend. Uma, next. Dilla.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Read the
I
next
wish
sentence.
I'd done that.
Huh. I wish I'd done that. Angelia?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Uma?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Uma. You can read the
Ma'am, I
next
just
sentence.
lost the connectivity. in between.
Okay, okay. I understood that. Can you read the next one? After I wish I'd done that.
Did you know you'd hurt him?
Yes. Angelia, next. Okay, anyway, it's time for us to wind up the class. There is some lagging. Some of the students are facing some network issue. I can understand that. No worries. Anyway, we will. I hope you understood the concept of contractions. And in the next class, we'll start doing the practice for the reading because you are going to have the assessment very soon. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you in the next class.
Thank you, ma'am.